Welcome back to the Final Fantasy VII Remake Pro Guide to a Perfect Save File. Kilson X here. Today we're going to be continuing on with Chapter 8, Day 2, but first let's review the events of Day 1. After falling from the Mega Reactor 5 explosion, Cloud crashed through a church in the Sector 5 slums, lost consciousness and wound up in a coma. Being the superhuman soldier that he is, coupled with the fact that he luckily landed in a flower patch, Cloud survived the fall. These weird ghost things might have helped out a little bit too. But with Cloud's strong will, he was able to awaken from his dark slumber to a familiar and friendly voice.
Maybe you're not okay.
Aerith, the flower girl from Chapter 2, helps to bring Cloud to his feet, just in the nick of time for another encounter with Shinra forces.
I'll see myself in. Thanks.
After a little bit of commotion, we quickly disposed of Reno the Turk, and Cloud and Aerith escaped to the safety of the church rafters and the Sector 5 slum rooftops.
Shit.
While navigating the rooftops, we learn that Aerith is on the run from the Turks, but she won't explain why. Cloud needs to return to Avalanche and continue with plans to take down Shinra, but he reluctantly agrees to take the flower girl home first. The pair narrowly avoid yet another encounter with the Turks' agent and resolve to sneak along the back streets back to Aerith's house. After battling their way through monsters and climbing their way through the slum scrapyards, Cloud and Aerith manage to make it back to Aerith's hometown unseen by the Turks. Finally, having escorted her home safely, we should be able to continue back to Sector 7 and Avalanche. But it seems Aerith actually has other plans and intends to keep Cloud occupied. We'll make it back to Barrett and Tifa eventually, but for now let's just play along.
So, this is my mom, Elmyra. And this is Cloud, my bodyguard.
In Day 2 of Chapter 8, we're going to get to take a closer look at the town inside the Sector 5 slums. We're even going to get some new battle intel missions from our old pal Chadley from Chapter 3. And we have quite a number of collectibles in this episode, starting with the 7 remaining chests from the chapter, giving us 14 in total. Pretty standard stuff in these chests, including a duplicate of the Mithril armlet. We're going to encounter 3 new music discs, which is pretty sweet, and we're going to get a ton of materia, including some new ones like Provoke, Steadfast Block, Steel, and Shiva. We'll obtain the handmade necklace key item, plus we got a couple trophies, Summon Slayer, and Say It With Flowers. So here we go with the continuation of Chapter 8, Day 2, and here's Cloud on Aerith's veranda right where we left him. So Aerith does intend to get Cloud back to Sector 7, but they've decided to wait for the following morning to make the journey. In the meantime, we've got a free afternoon to explore the town and help Aerith with the flower delivery. So without further ado, let's head back inside and then we can prepare to hit the town. And on our way back down, we'll pass by the second floor, which contains the guest bedroom where we're going to be sleeping, and also Aerith's room. We can hear her looking for the flower baskets.
That's weird. Could have sworn I put them here.
We can trigger the next chain of events simply by going back to the ground floor of Aerith's house.
Found them! You take this one. Take it. Right. Off we go. And these right here are my babies.
So we can just follow Aerith into the garden, and this is a unique part of the game where you can actually hold an accessory in your hand. Music here is so magical too.
Which ones do you think we should pick?
Any of them.
Oh, don't be like that. I know you have an eye for this kind of thing.
Picking flowers. Choose flowers to deliver to the leaf house. Press triangle when you are close to a garden to pick flowers. The decorations of the leaf house change depending on the colors you select. So I've prepared and overlaid a chart in the top right corner that goes over all the various flower color combinations.
That's the one I gave you.
Huh. It is?
Nice try, mister. You can't fool me.
Depending on what you choose, it will result in a different leaf house decoration as seen in the rightmost column. But the order doesn't matter.
I think we still need a few more. Which should we pick next? Good eye. People used to give these to declare their loyalty to one another. Interesting, right?
Given that the Cactuar decoration is the rarest, we'll be saving that for our final hard mode playthrough. This time I'm going for the common Chocobo.
She said, as many as you can carry, so maybe a few more? Whoa, foxtails, huh? I gotta hand it to you, I never would have thought of that. It'll definitely take them by surprise.
Having chosen one of each flower type, that will net us the Chocobo decoration as seen in row 6.
I think we're good now. What do you say? Shall we go?
Basically, if you have at least one yellow flower, you're going to get the chocobo design every single time, even if you mix it with 2 green or white flowers. Similarly, white will override green and give you the Moogle decoration, even at a 1:2 ratio. So that means the only combination to get the Cactuar leaf house decoration is to go with all green foxtails.
No need to hurry. We're not under the gun or anything.
I'm not cut out for this crap.
Sure you are. And when you're done, you'll be drowning in job offers.
So if you ever wanted to see the badass soldier Cloud running around with a basket of flowers, now's your opportunity.
So, how do you think they'll arrange these flowers?
Dunno.
Well, we'll soon find out.
And this is technically the second special unique Cloud skin, the first being in Chapter 2 when he wears Aerith's flower on his chest. There are a few other fun outfit and accessory changes coming up later in the game, so look out for those. So here we are back in town and we can head to the left to deliver the flowers to the leaf house. I love the kids' chalk drawings on the wall there.
I'll wait out here.
Oh, okay. But I might be a while. Why not check out the town?
I love how the basket of flowers in the cutscene actually reflects which flowers you chose to pick. Alright, so we've got a bit of time to kill without Aerith.
This here's the Sector 5 Community Center. Truth be told, it's really just a place for us old folks to sit and chat. Care to stay and keep us company a bit?
Let's head inside the community center and we can pick up our first of 3 music discs, Tango of Tears. Let's have a listen. Tango of Tears is a really specific piece of music from the original FF7 that plays only when you lose a chocobo race at the Gold Saucer. So it's kind of funny that they included it in this game as a music disc, considering it's such a random and kind of unimportant piece of music. I'm a fan though, it's pretty interesting, and it's sweet how it's a minor modulation of the original Fanfare Victory theme from Final Fantasy I on NES. It feels very appropriate for all the old folks here at the community center. Curiously, the high quality version of the song that I have just fades away instead of doing the ending. So I edited back in the in-game version so that we could hear the finale. And we're about to get a Solaris in our first chest of the chapter. Alright, let's catch the end of Tango of Tears and then we can move on. The Solaris casts a temporary haste buff on one party member. Very useful since we don't have the time materia yet, and I won't be using Carbuncle anymore. And we're going to quickly divert back to Aerith's garden to pick up a materia orb that we now have access to. And while we're on the way, I'd like to talk about this music that we're hearing right now. This piece was composed by Nobuo Uematsu, the original composer of Final Fantasy VII. After composing several legendary video game soundtracks, including the first 10 mainline Final Fantasy games, Uematsu went into retirement. Square Enix, however, was finally able to convince him to come out of retirement and join the Final Fantasy VII Remake compositional team. There's a duplicate MP up materia from Aerith's garden. Nobuo Uematsu's role was fairly small as per his request, and he was mostly charged with overseeing arrangements from new composers for his original works in Final Fantasy VII. However, he did agree to take on the task of composing a brand new piece of music for the game, which would go on to become the main theme for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Him and his team of musicians, arrangers, and composers worked to create two versions of the song. A vocal version which would play during the end credits of the game, and an instrumental version, which you're hearing right now. So this is Hollow Skies, also known as the Sector 5 Slums theme. We'll grab an Echo Mist from our second chest, and I can't overstate the emotional significance of Nobuo rejoining the Final Fantasy VII team to compose and record this music. And we'll get to hear the full vocal main theme version once we beat the game. So here's that Oats kid that we ran into in the last episode, and if we talk to him, we can trigger the next story event and meet up with Aerith again, but we're gonna skip that for now. And we've got 200 gil in our third chest, just outside the 5th cafe in the center of town. There's a couple shops we can visit, although there isn't too much of interest. This is the armor and weapons shop.
Well, hey there.
And he's not selling anything new, unfortunately, but if you haven't had a chance to get some of this stuff, then grab it now.
Take care of my equipment, you hear?
There's Oats again. He kind of follows you around to imply that you should talk to him. And if we continue down the main drag, we get to the item shop as well.
You give me gil, I give you items.
Just like with the weapon shop, there's nothing new here, but it's a great place to stock up on any of these items that you might need. I personally don't need any of that stuff, but I do want to sell off some potions. Your items max out at 99, and we're going to be getting a lot more potions where this came from.
See ya.
So we might as well turn a profit from them. 1500 gil ain't bad, and I'm going to need that gil because I have a wily plan that's a bit unorthodox. And I'll show off the Solaris in the inventory, hastens whoever drinks it. We can take a quick look at our new music disc, Tango of Tears, a disc containing a tango song. So there's actually an optional boss fight coming up right now, and you can choose to do it with Aerith on your team, or you can do it solo as Cloud. So as a personal challenge, we're going to try to do it solo. First, I'll just recover my HP and MP on the bench here. We can hear another music disc in the distance, but we're going to hold off on that for now and talk to our old pal Chadley right here.
Cloud, I understand you must be busy, but I hope you haven't forgotten about my research.
In case you forgot, Chadley's the one who provides us with battle intel report missions.
I've come up with the most fascinating theory. Perhaps you can lend me your assistance in gathering data to test it?
So he's got some new missions on the board for us.
Cloud, I have the most amazing news. I believe I might know how to develop summoning materia, something heretofore thought impossible. Scientists say that this materia can only be found in nature, but I may just be able to prove otherwise. And so, Cloud, I turn to you. I would like to test this theory by way of my combat simulator. To wit, I want you to fight and defeat summon data in VR. I sense that you find my phrasing to be somewhat obtuse.
As if this intern kid discovered how to make summoning materia. Battling summons. Chadley has developed a new combat simulator, VR missions. As you gather more and more battle intel, special missions allowing you to battle summons will become available. Talk to Chadley if you want to give them a go.
Please let me know when you have made your preparations.
I'm just going to move over here a little bit so that we're not hearing the other music in the background.
I have to tell you that I'm grateful for all of your help thus far.
So including the summon battle, Chadley has 5 new missions for us in total. And because I've been anticipating this, I've prematurely met the prerequisites for 3 of them already. So we can go ahead and purchase the new materia that Chadley's offering as a reward for these.
I've done it. I've developed a new materia.
So because we've completed 3 missions already, we're going to have access to 3 new pieces of materia, and they are Steel, Provoke, and Steadfast Block. We're going to be taking a closer look at them as the chapter progresses.
I look forward to receiving all of your future battle intel submissions.
So we've got the materia, now let's take a closer look at the actual battle intel submissions. We'll skip reports 9 and 5 for now since they're not complete yet, so let's take a look at report number 6, Monster Bio Part 2. The extreme conditions under which certain monsters thrive have provided them with unique self-preservational instincts. My aim is to harness this skill in the form of materia. Assess enemies to provide further intel. Assess 10 enemy types. Super easy, you should have this no problem. Then we've got Magic Elements Part 2. Tests have shown that striking an organism with an element against which it is weak will impair its defense, aiming to develop materia that makes use of this discovery. Further field data required to determine viability of development. Exploit weaknesses of 15 enemy types. And lastly, Report 8, the manipulation technique. No 2 battles are ever the same. Utilizing the various situations that arise during combat, I aim to develop materia capable of emotional manipulation. I expect this to lead to a higher combat efficiency. Development likely viable pending additional data. Overwhelm targets in combat to provide further intel. Defeat 2 or more enemies with a single attack. You'll most likely have all those missions complete, but if not, the instructions are really straightforward. As always, just ask me in the comments if anything isn't clear. So we're setting Cloud up for the Shiva battle, and we want him to have a higher magic attack and higher magic defense. So we're going to re-equip the Iron Blade, and we'll give him the Mithril Armlet. And for materia, materia, we're going to make use of the steadfast block right away. Further decreases enemy damage and fills the ATB gauge faster when guarding. This is great when we're forced to play more defensively. Additionally, we've got assess, deadly dodge, fire, and ATB boost plus the Ifrit summon.
I hope you will continue to help me gather vital information for my research.
Alright, so let's enter the VR battle against Shiva.
Then I invite you to ready your portable battle simulator.
And I'm about to teach you a really cheesy trick. It can definitely come in handy if you're short on materia slots. And since I won't have access to Aerith's materia slots in this fight, it's an appropriate time to use this trick. I'm going to assess Shiva, leave the battle, swap out the assess materia for something else, and then enter back in again. This way we can make the most of our materia slots while still getting the assessment. I should have equipped first strike, but no problem, we'll ATB boost and then assess. Now we can quit the battle and equip something more beneficial. This only works for certain fights though, so don't try to do this all the time. Now we have to listen to Chadley teasing us for quitting.
Was there a problem? I know the system is functioning properly. Take a moment to catch your breath and then try again.
But before we try again, we want to go back into the main menu.
I look forward to receiving all of your future battle intel submissions.
So let's go ahead and sub out the assess materia, and I think I'm going to equip barrier in its place. Shiva attacks with powerful ice magic, and with the mana wall ability that we get from the barrier materia, we can reduce a lot of that damage. I'm also just adding Fyra to Cloud's X quick command, and here's confirmation that we did in fact assess Shiva. Alright, now it's game time.
I hope you will continue to help me gather vital information for my research.
Select the Shiva battle one more time.
Then I invite you to ready your portable battle simulator.
And we should have everything we need, even without Aerith or the elemental materia, which is extremely useful in this fight as well. It's going to be very important for us to consider support spells and abilities to start the battle. Bring it on, Shiva. So the first thing I want to do is build up an ATB bar so I can use the Solaris we found earlier to cast Haste on Cloud. When Shiva attacks with any of the blizzard type spells, the best thing to do is guard and then roll away. This way you can block the initial glacier and then escape the brunt of the blast. Icicle impact is a lot harder to avoid as it comes out much quicker. It's all good though, we'll use the Solaris with our ATB charge. Now that Cloud's got haste, we can quickly fill another ATB and use some more support spells. When Shiva does her skating maneuver, you want to avoid the frost trail at all costs. If you touch it, it'll inflict you with slow, and in this case remove our haste buff. So I filled another gauge and used the ATB boost, then I used an adrenaline so that we could get our limit break faster, and finally I used the mana ward spell to reduce the damage taken from Shiva's ice attacks. Now we want to fill both ATB charges again and get ready for an offensive combo. We can block these incoming icicles and get extra ATB from the steadfast block materia. That plus haste and we're filled up in no time. Perform a Fyra to damage and pressure Shiva. Top up your ATB again and then do a double focused thrust to really build up that pressure meter. Nice, and we're closing in on the first stagger. Just do some basic attacks, keep chipping away, keep building ATB, deadly dodge wherever possible if you've got it equipped like me. Alright, I'm going to step back and perform another Fyra. Uh-oh, here comes a whiteout. We want to dodge that. Nice, just in the nick of time. Whiteout will put you to sleep on contact, which would be very bad right now without a teammate to wake us up. Alright, we got her staggered. Let's use a Punisher combo to fill the ATB gauge and inflict the Berserk status to Cloud for a higher damage output. Follow that up with Fyra for big damage and then continue laying into her. And I'm out of MP, so let's use a Braver instead before the stagger gauge depletes. Alright, let's back up and use an Ether so we have more magic to work with. Then we'll just keep attacking and building ATB. We've still got haste and mana ward on our side. Here comes another icicle impact. Damn, I wasn't quite quick enough to back away. With Aerith's long range, we could easily avoid that, but that's what makes this more challenging and kind of fun. Actually, it's a good thing if I take some damage anyways, because then the adrenaline can do its job and get my limit break up faster. Block that Blizzaga, roll away, and then let's call on Ifrit. Man, how epic is this? We've got the metal boss battle music playing in the background. Summon versus summon, fire versus ice. Let's go, Ifrit. Help me take it home, buddy. We got two classic Final Fantasy summons duking it out. Okay, let's get on the offensive, fill our ATB, dodge out of the way of these huge icicles. We no longer have the mana ward buff, but I think I'm going to risk going the rest of the way without it. We'll get Shiva pressured with another Fyra, and then we can use a focused thrust to add to that pressure meter. Good to see Ifrit tacking on the damage as well. I'm not going to use another focused thrust to get her staggered right away, because if I time everything just right, we can pull off a really nice grand finale with a stagger, a limit break, and Ifrit using his final attack. So we need to wait for Ifrit's time meter to get to 0. So we just lost our haste buff, but it's all good because our ATB is full and ready for the final strike. Just keep chipping away, waiting for Ifrit's meter to go down, eat some more damage and get that limit break filled. Here comes a Blizzara, so we'll block and roll. We might need to consider using a potion, but I think we should be okay. We're getting close to the climax. Ifrit's bar is almost depleted, Shiva's almost staggered, and I should get my limit break once she is, especially after that last icicle impact. Alright, let's do this. There's the stagger that filled my limit break. I'm going to do a Punisher combo so that I can get the Berserk status effect again. Ifrit's out there landing haymakers, and here we go with cross slash, baby. Huge damage, especially with the Berserk status. Now I could use a Final Fyra and finish her off, but let's let Ifrit do the honors with his final attack. One summon to another, let's go!
Hellfire.
Oh man, it's definitely over for Shiva. The Ice Queen trapped in an infernal whirlwind of death. Excellent work, Ifrit. You can return to your Pokeball.
Get some rest.
And that's gonna net us our first trophy of the episode, Summon Slayer, which you can get by defeating the summon in battle.
Was never in doubt.
And this is the first time we actually get to hear the victory fanfare in the remake. I've just been sampling the original.
Outstanding! The Shiva summoning materia is complete. And now it's yours. Use it as you see fit. The Lady of Frost is the perfect companion for a man like you, Cloud. She will prove most useful when the time comes to destroy Shinra.
Sweet, we got Shiva on our side now. And I'm gonna make a game-changing move right now by purchasing a second first strike materia for 5,000 gil. It's expensive, but highly worth it.
I look forward to receiving all of your future battle intel submissions.
I just want to highlight this location that we can't enter yet.
Nuh-uh. No grown-ups allowed. I thought we weren't fighting.
We'll be back here soon. But yeah, this is the first time I've acquired the second first strike materia early. It's going to allow me to do some pro setups.
Got nothing but the best here.
So this is the materia shop, and like the other stores in Sector 5, it's fairly redundant, but he does have a music disc for sale, so we're going to grab that. Costa del Sol, let's have a listen.
I knew you had a keen eye.
I used to love the original Costa del Sol theme so much growing up. If you're not familiar with it, it's the theme for a beach resort town which we'll encounter later in the story. And this version does not disappoint. Some excellent Latin acoustic jazz, complete with solos. Take it away, boys. So sick. I especially love the guitar interlude leading into the solo when the drums pick up and the whole song just takes off. Okay, now we can finally talk to this kid Oates again and trigger the next story event.
I remember you.
Where's Aerith?
The Leaf House.
So Oates books it to the Leaf House to find Aerith. Let's follow him and make sure everything's okay. That was all pretty sweet though. We submitted 4 out of 5 of Chadley's new intel reports, and we got a bunch of collectibles. Speaking of which, let's check some of this stuff out in the menu. Starting with Materia, and the Shiva Materia allows you to summon Shiva. We also got Steadfast Block, further decreases enemy damage and fills the ATB gauge faster when guarding. We learned about that while fighting Shiva. Then we've got Provoke, automatically uses Provoke to temporarily draw the enemy's attention when teammates are severely injured. Ineffective against powerful enemies, will not activate if the player is controlling the character. It's best to put that on a tanky character. And lastly, we've got Steel. Allows you to use Steel. You can rob enemies with this, and some of them have some pretty sweet spoils. Let's take a look at our Shiva assessment data. Shiva is an ice element summon recreated in virtual reality. It is the manifestation of a queen who once healed the planet's wounds with ice, as evidenced by the existence of permafrost in the polar lands. Tactical data not available. She's weak against fire, and we've already filled out the entire battle log, including the limit break. So here's the Lady of Frost, as Chadley likes to call her, looking very beautiful and very elegant. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see her in battle soon, but just equipping Shiva will give us some nice stat boosts. And we can examine the newly completed battle intel report. Combat simulation Shiva. Data compiled on the ice element has resulted in the successful reproduction of Shiva, the Lady of Frost. Combat behavior has yet to be tested. Engage in simulated battle to gauge performance. Defeat Shiva, which we did. Okay, we can head over to Oates and Aerith outside the Leaf House.
Is something wrong?
You could say that. Sounds like someone spooked the kids.
Yeah, 2 of them disappeared. They ran away after this creepy guy wearing black clothes showed up.
A Turk?
That's what I thought, but no.
It's this guy who's always stumbling around town in a dirty robe full of holes. They say he's sick or something. Oh, and he had some kind of number tattooed on his arm.
I don't like the sound of this. I'm gonna check it out.
I know someone who fits that description. I'll come with.
Okay.
Come on.
Nice, Aerith's back on the team, but it looks like we've got to go find some damn kids now. Before we follow Oates, let's check out the Leaf House, which we can now enter. And again, this is the children's orphanage and schoolhouse. If we head to the classroom back here, we can nab an ether in our 4th chest. And as a cool little Easter egg, there's some kids' chalk drawings of some iconic Final Fantasy mascots and enemies. We got the Moogle, the Chocobo, the Tonberry, and the Cactor, all up there on the blackboard. Okay, that's pretty much it for the Leaf House for now. We'll be back here later. Now we can follow Oates and see what the commotion is all about. As a side note, one thing I'm disappointed by in the remake, and if you know the original inside and out, you'll know what I mean. There's no Turtles Paradise posters to collect. In the OG, you could collect 6 of these posters hidden around the world for some nice rewards in the late game. And the first poster was hidden here in Sector 5, but sadly it's nowhere to be found in the remake. I'm assuming it's because we don't actually get to visit Turtles Paradise in this game, so let's hope they're saving it for one of the sequels. Okay, so we can follow Oates into the area where the kids were telling us no grown-ups allowed.
Come on.
I know this place is off limits to grown-ups, but if we want to rescue them, well, we gotta break the rules.
Oh my god, we're so bad. We're breaking the rules. We're going into the kids' hideout. What are they gonna do? They actually have a pretty sweet little hideout, and we've got some mini games and side quests back here as well. And we'll finally meet the long-awaited Moogle Metal Merchant.
Oates! You're back!
Aerith's come to help.
Yeah, leave it to us. We'll take care of it from here.
But there are monsters out there!
Don't worry. I've brought a super strong friend along with me.
I used to be a soldier. So where's the guy?
I don't know. He disappeared and we can't find him.
Right now, let's worry about the kids.
Come on.
So we're gonna go look for the missing kids, but first we can grab our 5th chest up here on the right containing a Moogle medal. We'll have to wait one more episode before we can access the Moogle medal shop, but it's gonna be sweet when we do. He's got a lot of great items, and I've got enough medals to buy everything.
They ran off this way. Be careful.
We've got some more battles coming up, so we'll take a moment to get prepared in a second.
Where do you think they went?
Who knows? They're kids. Nothing to do but look all over.
I just hope we find them in time.
Okay, so we'll jump into the menu, and the first thing I want to do is re-equip the Buster Sword for Cloud. We want to optimize his physical damage output since we have Aerith back as the Black Mage. I also gave him the Colliginous Bracelet again. It's got lower defense, but an extra materia slot, so it's a good trade-off. Aerith's equipment looks good. Let's clear away our materia and optimize our setup. So Cloud's got First Strike, Deadly Dodge, Provoke, Steel, Revival, Fire, and Aerith's got Lightning, Ice, ATB Boost, Magic Up, and First Strike as well. Having both characters equipped with First Strike is going to be pretty powerful. And I actually realized Cloud should have ATB Boost, so we made a trade. We're going to apply Steel to his X command, and we'll also give Blizzara to Aerith on her Circle command. And here comes our first battle against 3 Hedgehog Pies. I'm going to use ATB Boost and attempt to steal from them. When you first get the steal materia though, the success rate is extremely low. Yeah, that was a failed steal attempt. So I just used Triple Slash with Cloud's second ATB, and then switched to Aerith so I could finish them off with attacks from her staff.
Lend me your strength, and we're safe.
We've got another encounter right away. This time it's a Hedgehog Pie and 2 Were-Rats.
Okay then.
Same strategy as last time. ATB Boost, Steal. Damn, another failed steal attempt, Triple Slash, and then finish him off with Aerith.
Good night.
Easy peasy. Hope I can get a steal soon though.
Moving on. on then.
Let's veer off course for a sec. Up the ramp to the right, we've got some boxes, just an echo mist, but if we head to the top, we can get our 6th chest containing a mega potion. That's definitely a useful item to have, so make sure you grab that. Now let's go back down and catch up with Aerith. Hopefully we'll be able to find these kids soon.
Ah, there they are.
And they're not alone.
Alright, so it looks like the kids are trapped on a little island of scrap, and they're about to get attacked by a smogger and a couple hedgehog pies. We encountered a smogger in the previous episode, and they're pretty formidable if you don't have the right technique. This time we'll have to face multiple of them, but first a group of were-rats. ATB boost steal. Nice, success this time, we got an antidote. Triple slash, and it looks like one of the rats used call to arms to bring in his boys for backup. I'm gonna switch to Aerith and use her soul drain technique. Aw man, the rats hadn't fully emerged yet, so it targeted nothing. Whatever, we'll just build Cloud's ATB up again and finish the battle with triple slash. And right into the next fight, we've got 2 hedgehog pies and a were-rat. We'll go in with the same technique, ATB boost. This time I want to steal from a hedgehog pie because I already got the were-rat last time. Unsuccessful again, I used a triple slash and then we'll use soul drain with Aerith, and we'll just finish these guys off. Nice, Cloud leveled up and we got some boxes over here.
We gotta save them.
Alright.
So, the game doesn't track this, but I'm going to make it a personal goal of mine to steal from every enemy that has a stealable item at least one time. So far, we've got the were-rat down. And since Cloud leveled up, let's spend his SP. I'm going to increase his magic defense since the hedgehog pies can catch you off guard with a fire rat every now and then. And I'm also going to swap back ATB boost to Aerith. We've got a tough battle coming up with multiple smoggers and hedgehog pies, and we're going to need all the magic we can get from her. Down the ladder, and it's time to finally rescue these kids. And we still need to get a stagger on a smogger, so with that in mind, let's do a triple slash on these guys. Switch over to Aerith, I'm going to use Blizzara on the smogger. That should get it pressured, and I can use a focused thrust with Cloud once he's got an ATB charge. That'll get it staggered, and then we can finish it off with some attacks from Aerith. Once she's got her ATB up, we'll use ATB boost and prepare for the next wave of enemies. We've got 2 more hedgehog pies from the front and 2 more from the rear. Cast Arcane Ward and switch over to Cloud. Build up his ATB so that we can use another triple slash on the hedgehog pies. Nice, we're shredding through these guys. Back to Aerith, top up her ATB again. Finish this guy off with Cloud, and then we can prepare for our last wave consisting of 2 smoggers. And now I'm set up for an absolutely insane finish. With Arcane Ward, I can cast double Thundara on both smoggers, taking them out in 1 hit apiece. Switch over to Cloud so we can move them out of the way of the self-destruct blast from the smogger. And that's how it's done, son. Now we can grab the kids.
Careful.
Watch out! The ground's really shaky. It's because of the reactor. You can't trust your feet.
I'll go. Come on.
Whoa! Thank you. That was cool.
Okay, let's head back.
So I made that fight look like a breeze, but there was a lot of micromanaging going on and some RNG too. I used Blizzara on the first smogger because I wanted to get it staggered before I killed it. Thundara would have been too powerful as it's weak to lightning attacks, which is exactly why I used Thundara on the last 2 smoggers. Aerith's ridiculous black mage setup, coupled with her arcane ward ability, equals death to smogger. Speaking of which, we've got another smogger coming up right now. Let's do it again. I will attempt to steal from it first though. Maybe we'll get lucky.
Run and hide.
Keep it together.
So it's my turn?
Dang, no luck on the steal. So we'll switch to Aerith, back up, use ATB boost, back up some more so it doesn't hit us. Then we'll cast Arcane Ward and follow that up with our double Thundara. This setup absolutely wrecks these guys before they even have a chance to attack.
So cool! How did you get to be so strong?
Well, you see, Cloud here used to be a soldier.
He was? Did you go fight in the war?
I might have.
And that's almost it for the fighting in this episode, but we do have 1 battle left. I'm going to give Cloud ATB boost 1 more time and we'll see if we can get a steal from a hedgehog pie. So far I'm 1 for 6 on steal attempts, so yeah, pretty low success rate. There are some things we can do to improve our odds though. We can level up the steal materia, and we can also equip luck up. Cloud's also going to get a new weapon soon that will increase his luck statistic and subsequently his steal rate. And here's our last battle. We've got 3 hedgehog pies, so nothing too complicated. We'll do the old ATB boost into steal into triple slash and another unsuccessful steal. So this really illustrates just how bad the steal materia is in the beginning before you get more luck buffs. It's all good, we'll get the hedgehog pie eventually.
I'm gonna grow up to be a soldier like you.
You can't just grow up to be a soldier. You gotta work at it.
Cloud thinks I'm good enough to be one, right?
Look at you, Mr. Popular.
That was so cool, you guys. Especially that, yeah!
Yeah, it was really cool when you went like, yeah!
You've got it all wrong. Yeah! Like that.
No way. It was way faster than that. Pya, pya, like that.
Fine. Then how about...
Ha, yeah, yeah. Huh, ha, like that.
Isn't that right, Cloud?
Isn't that right, Cloud?
Looks like Cloud's got himself a fan club, much to his annoyance.
Come on.
Tifa, wait!
Tifa!
Tifa!
Tifa.
Tifa? What's wrong?
Nothing.
Is Tifa like your girlfriend?
No,
Bet she's someone special.
it's not like that. More like... I don't know how to explain.
I see.
And like a lot of video game relationships, it's kind of vague who Cloud's love interest is in this game. Maybe they made it that way on purpose so that the player could interpret it in their own way. Or maybe they'll clear it up in future installments.
Thank you.
From now on, if you run into trouble, promise me you'll find an adult, okay?
Okay, I will. And here, since you're so cool, you guys are both grown-ups, but you're also one of us now. You can come and play here whenever you want.
Sweet. Oates just gave us a necklace that will grant us indefinite access to the kid's secret base.
Don't worry, it'll be okay.
Wait! Not him. It looks pretty damn similar.
There's the number, but why two?
Who knows? Come to think...
The reunion. Is nothing to fear.
Cloud, get it together. Come on.
You don't know who Sephiroth is, do you?
Sephiroth, the war hero? I know he died in an accident 5 years ago. They said so on the news.
Maybe they did. But I've got a feeling he's still alive.
Oh, right. Come on, let's go.
So that was all very bizarre. Cloud's having more hallucinations, and we've met another cloaked man.
I heard he came back because he got sick or something. Isn't that kind of weird? Can soldiers even get sick?
And we learned from these kids that the man actually used to be a soldier like Cloud.
My dad told me that man, he used to be a soldier when he was younger.
It seems like Aerith knows something about Sephiroth, too.
Hey, Cloud, I know a lot of people around here need help. When I'm out on patrol, a lot of them tell me about their problems. Do you think you might be interested in helping out?
Well, I'm all for it. We still have plenty of time.
I'm on the clock.
Don't worry, I give you permission.
I always have the latest information. Come find me if you want to know.
Alright, so now the chapter opens up even more. You can see the Moogle Metal salesman behind us, along with a new music disc. We're going to save our meeting with him for the next episode, though, because it ties into one of the 6 new side quests that we got, which are popping up in the top right corner right now. And the next episode is going to be totally designated for completing side quests. We'll also be able to wrap up the last battle intel mission from Chadley in the next episode. And if you look on the wall behind us, you can see the official symbol for the kids' club and secret hideout. And during the cutscene that just passed, Oates actually gave us the handmade necklace key item, which grants us access to the hideout. Handmade necklace, proof that you've been accepted by the children of the Sector 5 slums as one of their own, provides access to their secret hideout. And we can see that the necklace has the same design as the logo on the wall, so that's a nice little detail. Alright, and our time is almost up for this episode, but we've got a couple more things to take care of. We're gonna head back up to the Leaf House. The staff there have finished putting together the floral arrangement from the flowers we gathered earlier.
Aerith, you're back!
One day, I want to grow up.
Come, look what we've done
like
with the flowers. Lovely, don't you think?
Great job. It's wonderful.
Isn't it? Oh, I nearly forgot. I saw some Shinra suit walking toward your house a little while ago. He was dressed all in black. A little scary looking.
That's the Turk that we saw jump out of the helicopter earlier in the chapter. And there's our chocobo floral arrangement on the front wall of the Leaf House, earning us the trophy Say It With Flowers. And like we discussed at the beginning of the chapter, that chocobo floral design is a direct result of the flowers we chose to gather. We'll be able to see the Moogle and Cactuar designs on my subsequent hard mode playthrough. So we could actually choose to advance the story and end the chapter right now by returning to Aerith's house and engaging in combat with Reno's partner, the unknown Turk from the helicopter. But we're going to avoid all that until we've tackled all the side quests and collectibles in Chapter 8. And since we got a tip-off that the Turks are waiting for us back at Aerith's house, this road is now free of patrolling officers, so we can go back up to the church. It's nice to be able to use the safer pedestrian roads instead of fighting monsters in the back streets. We've got our 7th and final chest of the chapter up here containing a duplicate mithril armlet. At least I thought it was here. What the hell? Whoa, weird. I guess it hadn't loaded in yet. Alright then, well now you guys know that can happen, so make sure you double check that spot. So it's not super important to return to the church, but we can collect some things along the way for our 100% file. The chest we just grabbed, a music disc coming up, and the yellow materia that was previously inaccessible in the church. We can grab our next music disc, Descendant of Shinobi, from this dude.
Hey there, man. You into music? I screwed up an order of discs, sitting on a mountain of them now. Mind taking at least one off my hands?
So this is the theme song for another future party member that we have yet to meet. Her name is Yuffie, and she's actually getting her own entire DLC episode coming out this summer. I'm really excited. I'm kind of on the fence with this song because the initial section is really beautiful and chill, but the rest of it's kind of cheesy. This part's cool, and the main melody when it loops around again. And that's a wrap on all the music discs for today. We've got one Chapter 8 disc left in the next episode. We'll pass through the train station again. Might as well recover our HP and MP while we're at this bench. There's that Kate Sith music disc playing again. So fire, don't even get me started. Actually, let's stop and examine the last two discs that we found. Costa del Sol, a disc containing a Bossa Nova song. And we have Descendant of Shinobi, a disc containing a pop song. I love the cover art for both. So now, all that's left to do is return to the church and collect that materia. And since we can't spend the interim between episodes at Aerith's house without getting attacked by the Turks, the church is our next best spot for our heroes to relax and take a break, and to close out day 2 of our Chapter 8 adventure. There's some boxes over here on the left. Shafted. So some cryptic events have taken place here in Chapter 8. Cloud has had a string of intermittent visions containing other characters like Aerith, Tifa, and Sephiroth. Another cloaked and tattooed figure has appeared in the Sector 5 slums, very similar to Marco, Tifa's neighbor from Chapter 3, and it appears they may be former soldiers. Then we've got Aerith running around, trying to avoid Shinra's clutches. She seems to know something about Sephiroth and all the mysterious ghosts that have been popping in and out of the story. Then there's the ghosts themselves. What do they even mean? Where do they come from? They're not actually in the original Final Fantasy VII at all. So there's a lot of questions to be answered. Oh mama! 2 Moogle medals. And this is where we jumped down from the rooftops and fought our first battle with Aerith, so we're almost back at the church. So I learned a little bit more about some of the recording challenges that come with capturing footage from the PS4, and it seems that if you get a notification during recording, the recording will actually pause, leaving you with a gap in the footage. Here's the church right now. And unfortunately, I experienced one of these recording errors coming up right now. There it was, just a little blip and a second of footage lost. It's going to happen one more time in the next episode as well, so I apologize for that. Lesson learned. We can grab our second chakra materia in the back room of the church here that was previously blocked off. Alright guys, well that's pretty much going to wrap it up for Chapter 8 Day 2. Cloud and Aerith are going to hang out here in the flowers while they await the next episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to drop a like, and make sure you're subscribed if you want to catch the next one. Day 3 should be a lot of fun, banging off all the side quests and the rest of the chapter challenges. Until then, Kilson out. Peace.